We've all heard that term grinder in sales, right? That person who just seems to be relentless, always making things happen. But what are they actually doing all day? Well, today we're going behind the scenes. We're going to break down their daily actions into a playbook that you can actually use. So let's pull back the curtain and see how it's done.
Yeah, here's the thing. The answer isn't some kind of magic, and it's not just about working harder. It's all about working smart inside a very, very specific system. We're going to lift the hood and look at the exact day-to-day process that really separates the true grinders from everybody else. And to do that, we're going to walk through 4 key parts of their playbook. First up, the foundation. This is all about discipline. Then we'll get into the toolkit, the tech you need to have. After that, we dive into the nitty-gritty with the cold call playbook and, of course, the warm call playbook.
Okay, before we even think about scripts or software or anything like that, we have to start right here. This is the absolute, non-negotiable foundation of the entire system, creating a rigid, disciplined structure for your day. Seriously, everything else is built on top of this. The whole system really kicks off with 2 brutally simple rules. First, you block off dedicated time in your calendar just for outreach. We're talking maybe an hour or 2, 3 times a week. And second, you protect that time like it's gold. No meetings, no checking emails, no excuses. You get on the phone and you make the calls. This relentless discipline, it's the cornerstone of the entire playbook. So once you've got your time blocked off and protected, you need the right tools to make sure that time is actually effective. So let's move on to the Grinders Toolkit and see how technology really makes this whole system manageable. And the absolute centerpiece of all this tech is the CRM. That stands for Customer Relationship Management System. Now, if you're not familiar with the term, just think of it as your digital command center. It's the one place where you organize and manage every single interaction you have with your potential clients. But look, don't make the mistake of thinking this is just some fancy address book. A good CRM is the brain of your entire operation. It keeps track of who you called, it stores all your notes so you remember those key little details from every conversation, it can automate follow-up emails and texts, and this is huge, it creates tasks for you like, hey, call this person back in a week. And maybe most importantly, it puts appointments directly on your calendar. Of course, a CRM is totally useless without any data in it. So how do you fuel it? You purchase lists. Specifically, you're looking for sale by owner, or FSBO, properties and expired listings in your market. You can get these from services like MyPlus Home Leads. Then you just import those lists directly into your CRM, and just like that, your call sheet for the day is built and ready to rock.
All right, you have your time blocked, your CRM is loaded up with contacts. Now, it's time to go on offense. This is the cold call playbook, and it's a proactive strategy for turning complete strangers into clients. Now, to really succeed here, you have to understand you're dealing with 2 completely different mindsets. On one hand, you have the for sale by owner. Their mindset is, I can do this myself. So your goal is to show them overwhelming value that proves they can't. But on the other hand, you've got the expired listing seller. They're thinking, my last agent totally failed me. They're frustrated, they're distrustful. Your goal there isn't just about value, it's about financial recovery. So for the FSBO, the script is incredibly direct, and it's powerful. As soon as you get a chance, you ask this question. If you could hire a full-service agent for 1%, would you like help? Now, what's so clever about this? It immediately cuts through all the noise. It reframes the entire conversation around one single high-value number. It completely bypasses their usual defenses and forces them to weigh the cost of all their time and stress against a concrete, basically unbeatable offer. The key tactic with an FSBO is all about speed and focus. You cannot, I repeat, cannot have a long, rambling conversation. Why? Because they are getting absolutely bombarded with calls from other agents just like you. Your job is super simple, make your unbeatable offer, and then expertly handle whatever objections they throw at you. That's it. Get in, make your point, and get that appointment. Okay, now for the expired listing. The approach shifts entirely. Remember, these people have already worked with an agent who is probably more expensive and, well, failed to get the job done. So your value proposition is crystal clear. You are there to save the money. That's your angle, and trust me, it's a powerful one. And listen, this isn't just about putting a little money back in their pocket. You need to frame these savings as a strategic tool. The money they save by working with you can be used to offer closing cost assistance to a buyer, or maybe fund an interest rate buydown, or even just price the home more aggressively from the start. These are tangible advantages that can get a stale property finally sold.
So, for both types of these cold calls, the process is a simple, repeatable three-step loop. Number 1, make the call, deliver your script. Number 2, immediately after you hang up, send a pre-made text with your info. And number 3, this is the most important part, get an appointment on the calendar. A good conversation is nice, but a firm appointment, that's what creates a real opportunity.
All right, let's switch gears. We're going to move from the transactional world of cold calls to a much more nuanced strategy. This is the warm call playbook, where your success is built on relationships, not just on scripts.
And this really means working your sphere. Your network of friends, family, past clients. But here's the crucial difference. They don't refer you because of some clever script. They refer you because they genuinely like you. The personal relationship is the entire foundation of this strategy.
And hey, if you've ever felt kind of awkward making these calls, this is probably the reason why. The absolute wrong way to do this is to just call, ask for business, and then hang up. It feels completely transactional. It makes people feel used, and it can really poison a genuine friendship fast.
The right way, on the other hand, is built on respect. First, just have a real conversation. Connect with them as a person before you even think about business. Second, you can gently remind them how your business works, saying something natural like, the only way I really succeed is through great friends like you sending people my way. And third, and this is huge, you have to reward every single referral. A bottle of wine, a gift card to their favorite coffee shop. It shows real appreciation and it reinforces the behavior.
So when you put it all together, what this playbook really reveals is that being a grinder has nothing to do with luck or some kind of magic sales talent. It's all about building a system. It's having the discipline to protect your time, using the right technology to stay organized, and having the intelligence to know exactly which approach to use with which person.
Which kind of brings us to a final thought here. This playbook, it's undeniably effective. But is this kind of relentless, superstructured system the undisputed key to success? Or is it maybe a recipe for burnout? That's really the question to think about as you decide which parts of the Grinder's playbook might be right for you.